Hello, my name is Andrew Collins and I'm a Telly Addict. This week, The Fall, Gogglebox, Morgana Robinson's The Agency and Who's Afraid of Conceptual Art. Well, we've moved Telly Addict Day from Tuesday to Thursday, which means I have a week and 2 days worth of viewing to catch up with. Bear with me if I précis fastidiously.
Do you want anything? Some Madeira, perhaps?
Do you want anything? Some Madeira, perhaps? Cake? Wine?
Putting all professional TV critics out of business, Gogglebox returned for its 8th series. Now, I have a special relationship with this show, having conducted a disciples' pilgrimage around its famous households for the tie-in book. However, new thrill, I've never been here.
In Bristol.
Now, I've been to Bristol, but I've never been here.
Meet the plumbers. Brothers Tremaine, Twain and Tristan.
Or here.
Would you give your body to medical science?
You don't know where it'll land up.
Or here.
Oh yeah, the food festival. I bought an amazing chopping board.
Not since Series 2 has Gogglebox introduced 3 new households in one fell swoop. Hello, the Delaney Elwoods in their castle in Dorset, Tremaine, Twain and Tristan in Bristol, who sound like minor characters in Shakespeare, and Mary and Marina, also in Bristol.
Yeah.
Describe how you first met.
It was in Colombia.
Bogota.
No, I like him like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks nice like that.
Yeah. Handsome, isn't he?
It's early days and they may take time to bed in before they too feel like part of the furniture. But remember the animosity when Giles and Mary were introduced in Series 5, whereas now they're as unimpeachable as Jeremy Corbyn.
I went through a town in Wales the other day, a village, not a very remote village, and it had the Codfather at one end of the village.
Fish and chips.
Yeah, and then it had the Codfather 2 at the other end of the village.
Very funny.
Isn't that good?
Yeah.
There was another nice bird-watching moment on the previous week's Bake Off. Did you spot what this was?
I don't want that to happen when Mary and Paul cut into it.
45 minutes remaining.
The consensus says grey wagtail, which, according to the Collins Guide to Birdwatching, first published in 1963, is rarely seen away from water at any time of the year. Talking of the Bake Off, this is what the execs at its new channel are already saying.
Because it'll all change when it goes to Channel 4. It'll become more controversial. Yes.
To redress the balance of BBC formats going to Channel 4, here's a talent nurtured at 4 who's been poached by the BBC.
Boom shakalak. Mr. Bombastic. Boom. Tick, 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 boom.
I grew up with Mike Yarwood, Roger Kitter and Who Do You Do in the golden age of impressionists, the 1970s. I've retained a fascination with the craft and always check out new impressions by new impressionists, because if we don't support mimicry, it will die out, like glassblowing and conversation.
What's the best thing about fame? I don't have to bunk it on a bus no more.
The best thing about fame? Probably the straight-up banter you have with the greatest musicians in the world. Hashtag Snow Patrol. Hashtag They're My Mates They Are.
I don't even get on the bus no more, which is sad, really. I was always on the 349 from Edmonton. Backseat, chicken cottage, sneaky Benson out the window. Can't do that now, too mega famous.
Framed by the device of all being clients at a fictional agency, I find Morgana's latest palette of stars well observed, and she's well served by a quintet of decent writers, but I don't think she should do Danny Dyer.
Sometimes I need to get away from the old bag for life and the kids.
But I find her Natalie Cassidy generally quite affectionate.
The great thing about fame is all the lovely people who stop you in the street for a chat. I say stop for a chat. Most just drive by and shout, "Oi, Sonia! Where's your trumpet?" I don't know where it is. It's just a prop.
Coincidentally, as well as the Gogglebox houses, I've also been in Natalie Cassidy's house when I was working with her a couple of years ago, and it's nothing like that. Now, from craft to art.
If you thought conceptual art was crap, here's your proof.
I've long been a fan of the work of Dr. James Fox, initially famous for being the youngest art historian to present his own TV programme at 28, now all grown up but still looking like the freewheeling Bob Dylan. His series are usually thematic, but he was back with a bracing one-off that failed to answer the big question that it raised.
But if it's not art, what is it?
Well, it's something that I did because I liked it.
No, not that question.
Bruce, hi.
Good morning, nice to see you.
You too.
All right.
What is this you're doing?
And not that question. The question I wanted answering was, why were nearly all of the current conceptual artists that Dr. Fox spoke to Scottish?
So the piece is up and it says, the air chases and scatters blue light more than it scatters red light.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me that question, funny enough. In 1971, I borrowed 50 plinths from the Tate for an installation called Objects, No Concepts.
No concepts.
As opposed to Concepts, No Objects.
This is a candle that smells of outer space.
I didn't think outer space had a smell.
It has a lot of smells, it turns out. It's quite a scented place.
Turner Prize winner Martin Creed, raised in Glasgow, Robert Montgomery, born in North Lanarkshire, veteran Bruce McLean, Glasgow, Katie Patterson, Glasgow. What is it about hailing from the far north, where nationalism and a sense of history are fierce, skin is fair and the weather is wet, that produces all this amazing conceptual art?
Because what Katie Patterson has done is taken a score of the Moonlight Sonata, converted it into Morse code and sent it by radio transmission all the way to the surface of the moon, and then bounced it back into this room and into this piano.
I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Over the sea in Belfast, serial killer cat and mouse thriller The Fall returned. Writer-director Alan Kubit's drama was unmissable in its first series, but having left it inconclusive because drama is never allowed to end, Series 2 strained credibility and ended with a shootout. How do you accommodate a third run round the block?
32-year-old male, gunshot wounds to abdomen. Breathing 35, pulse steady and 140, BP unrecordable.
Well, by playing the first episode like Holby in close to real time, while hunky psychopath Paul Spector lies close to death on a gurney. It really worked and gave the rest of the cast plenty to do.
No pneumothorax. Daryl, any luck with the bloods in line?
His blood?
Ursula, 2 units of house red to start. Cross-match me. 6 units in the lab, please. Good man, Daryl. Chop, chop now.
Currently doing good work in wartime fashion saga The Collection on Amazon Prime, Richard Coyle wore this episode well, with an implication of trained medical experience that was coolly convincing. The people of Belfast must judge his accent. It sounded sound enough to me. While Jamie Dornan was manhandled by medics, Gillian Anderson did some of her best face acting.
BP 60 systolic, pulse 128 palp. No radial.
They use the ambu bag, help him with his breaths. And ultrasound, please. Gently press.
Looking for free food.
My worry is for this nurse, played by the suddenly ubiquitous Aisling B. Left alone with a still technically alive serial killer who goes for young, dark-haired women, what could possibly go wrong? Aisling B also turned up in Joe Brand's latest knockabout comedy set in social services. Here she is with a much more suitable man, caseworker Alan Davis.
You can't come round here anymore.
What?
It's not a drop-in centre. Your case is closed, OK? You no longer meet the needs thresholds.
But there's loads of things I still need. Like car insurance.
You've got a car now?
No, but only because I don't have any insurance.
Look, you...
I'll review Damned in full next week. First, a quick recommendation for a 5-part documentary that ran across 5 consecutive nights and which you might ordinarily avoid.
It was in the warm-up, and yeah, where we tapping and we're just waking up the meridians of the body and getting the energy flowing. Smile. So you're in that chorus and turn right side, river, and Nick walked off. Which was, I found that quite rude.
Nick Knowles, presenter of DIY SOS, doing a flounce, having agreed to attend a 28-day spiritual and gastric detox in Thailand, along with the equally sceptical builder and electrician from his show. What happens to their manly prejudices over 5 episodes surprised me, surprised them, and may surprise you.
I just had a very, very strange experience. I'm not a spiritual person. I didn't think I was. I just had my 3rd session of Reiki.
It's on iPlayer for a couple of weeks, and you may emerge from the experience as changed as Jules the Builder did. Now, this seems a perfect juncture to introduce a moment of zen. It's from BBC 4's latest essential service, the Hip Hop World News, a feature-length journey through a prickly subculture with UK rapper Rodney P, who was brave enough to let us see his own epiphany at the childhood home of Chuck D.
Hip-hop has given me so much. And within that, on a personal level, I'm gonna burst into tears in a minute. But I feel like Chuck D actually helped change the direction of my life. Jesus Christ. Unashamedly, I'm shedding these tears unashamedly. These are happy tears, because I feel lucky and thankful to be here.
Thanks for watching and for wondering about this week's item on the coffee table, which was a photograph of me in 1991 playing the drums for Cud. Next week I'll be reviewing Damned with Alan Davis and Joe Brand, new Taskmaster on Dave, and more things on television. Let us know what you're watching below the line, and while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to UK TV for more Telly Addict and videos from UK TV. See you next week then.